When you're dealing with assets in a system like Acumatica, sometimes you need to account for just parts of those assets separately.
Right.
Like say you sell a piece of it or move it to another department. That's where things can get a bit tricky. Thankfully, we've got Mamta from Tiana Solutions with us. She's an associate functional consultant with over a decade of experience in ERP.
Wow, over a decade.
Yeah, 13 years to be exact. And she really knows her way around Acumatica.
That makes sense.
Having helped users in over 500 different situations.
That's a lot of experience.
It is. So we're going to dive into how Acumatica handles this whole asset splitting thing.
Okay, splitting assets.
Yeah, because sometimes you need to manage the individual parts, right?
Absolutely.
So what are some of the main reasons a company might need to split a single fixed asset into multiple entries?
Well, based on what Mamta's seen, there are a bunch of reasons. Like, you might need to move some parts of an asset around to different departments.
Oh.
Or even to different locations physically.
Right.
And then there's getting rid of just a part of an asset, or maybe selling it or transferring it. Plus, you've got to track upgrades and improvements separately sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then there are things like depreciation, taxes, accounting, all that fun stuff. You need to be accurate with all of it.
Of course.
And even transfers between different parts of a company. Lots of reasons.
So essentially, it's about staying accurate and reflecting what's actually happening with these assets in the real world.
Exactly. Keeping those records up to date.
Okay, so how does Acumatica's split asset feature work to do that?
So, according to Mamta, it's a pretty straightforward process. First, you head over to the Fixed Assets module.
Okay.
Find the asset you want to split, click on it.
Got it.
And then there's this action that says split asset.
Simple enough.
Yeah, so you hit that, and it opens up this split fixed asset screen.
And what happens on that screen?
That's where you put in all the info for each of the new assets you're creating.
Yeah.
From the original.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, Acumatica lets you choose. You can either assign each new asset its own ID manually, or the system can just automatically generate IDs for you. Makes it pretty flexible.
Nice.
But the most important part is you've got to allocate the original asset's value to all these new assets.
Yeah, divide it all up.
Exactly. And you can do that by either typing in the specific value for each new asset,
okay,
or you can just assign a percentage of the original value to each.
That makes it easy.
Yeah, makes it much simpler.
Yeah.
So once you've got all the values sorted out, what happens next?
What happens next?
Well, you double check everything.
Yeah, make sure it's all right.
Exactly.
Right.
And then you start the split process.
And Acumatica takes it from there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's smart enough to automatically calculate and apply all those depreciation adjustments,
Oh, wow.
both for the original asset and for all the new ones.
And that saves so much time.
Huge time saver.
Yeah. So are those new assets then immediately ready to use in reports and stuff?
Almost. But Mamta points out that they'll initially show up with this unposted fixed asset transaction.
Oh, okay.
It's not a big deal, though. You just have to manually release that transaction.
Makes sense.
And that makes the new assets fully active in the system, and you can start using them in your financial reports.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's just that one extra little step.
That's an important thing to remember. The split asset feature sounds like it was really well thought out.
Oh, definitely. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that Tiana Solutions, they're the biggest services partner for Acumatica, right?
Yeah. The largest.
So they have a whole team of experts who can help with everything Acumatica.
Their number is 678-910-2774. So give them a call, set up a consultation.
Yeah, see how they can help make your business processes smoother.